Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So it has been a minute, like for real. I think my last video was back in February, so not terrible, but definitely not what I had intended. I intended to go full force. I was all geared up to go full force with YouTube this year, and then, you know, life. But nonetheless, here we are, and it feels really, really good to be sitting down with you guys and like doing YouTube again. So I've been in catch-up mode for the last few weeks, and I figured this is the perfect time to just turn the camera on, kind of just update you guys on like what's been happening, what I've been up to, and as I'm gearing up to like get back into my routines and systems and things like that, just bring you guys along with me. So this is like pretty much what this vlog is going to be about. I recently sat down with myself and just said, okay, like what are the reasons why I have not been as consistent as I wanted to be, and really have not been going after or meeting the goals that I set out for myself in the beginning of the year. And outside of the fact that I'm a new mom with an infant who's full of energy and requires all the attention and all the wife stuff, the home stuff, the life stuff, outside of all of that, I think the biggest thing for me has been just coming into the day feeling behind. And for anyone who knows me really, really well, knows that I'm like a planner and I like thrive on like order and systems. I'm not that girl that's just like goes into the day and is like, let's just see what happens. So I think for me, my biggest strategy in this season is going to be just making sure that I'm always 10 steps ahead. So that's kind of like what I've been like meditating on the last couple of weeks, and sort of just like refocusing my mind to get myself there. And so this weekend, today is actually Friday, so this weekend I plan on just like doing just that. So I did some filming yesterday and earlier today, so I want to for sure get those videos edited, so at the very least I have content set and ready to go for the beginning half of next week. And then I want to spend some time just working on my editorial calendar. We'll get into that a little bit later. I already have one, but I need to like revise it a little bit, sort of like make it a little bit, I was talking to my friend about this the other day, make it a little bit realistic for where I am in my life right now. So I'm going to work on editing that, revising that, and then I want to work on planning out and fleshing out ideas for the next couple pieces of content that I want to shoot, scripting videos, and just making sure, again, hubby's going. All right, what was I saying? I want to work on planning out and fleshing out ideas for upcoming videos, whether that's writing out a script for a talking video or writing out ideas for a shot list. I just want to come into the shoot as prepared as I can, so that I'm not wasting a lot of time. The guys will be out for about another hour or so, so I've got one more hour to get this stuff done before I gotta start like bedtime routine and all of that. This video is just about like me catching up and getting prepared. I'm very determined to get back on my grind, to get back, not necessarily to where I was, but just to get back into the flow of things and get into a groove in a place that I'm comfortable with. So let me get to it. It has been forever since I've used this vlog camera. Somebody actually in my stories asked me to do an updated review on this camera. This is the Sony ZV-E10, and it's what I use to vlog on the go. I love my main camera, which is the Canon R5, but sometimes it's just a little bit too bulky if I'm like on the go. I initially chose this camera at the time because there weren't a lot of options that, you know, were fit in your hand like this, that had interchangeable lenses. I do believe that there are a few now that do allow you to change the lenses, but nonetheless it's still a great camera, and I will be using it this weekend to vlog with. So some of the footage that you see in this vlog will be filmed on this camera, and I'll like indicate like what footage is what. Okay, what am I working on now? So I've been seeing this cracking latte all over TikTok, and I'm like, I have to make it. And I'm like, I want to make it with I want to do a lavender latte, which is like my favorite. I love lavender everything. And I have to do white chocolate if I'm going to do lavender. And it's really yummy. I mean, it's a lavender latte. The only thing is I'm like, I don't taste the chocolate at all. I don't know if you're supposed to like taste the chocolate, but the chocolate is literally like hard. So I'm just going to end up just eating the chocolate afterwards because I can't taste it in the coffee whatsoever. It's good though. All right, so what has been going on with me? I'm going to try to talk and work at the same time because I've only got an hour and I need to get stuff done. So February was the last time that like I spoke to you guys, and I think the last video was like a Q&A, so it wasn't even like a vlog or anything like super personal or anything like that. So what has been going on since then? Braxton is keeping me busy. As you can imagine, he is now 8 months going on 9 months next week. Jeez, I want us to actually do a 9-month shoot. And I told myself I was going to like find ideas, cute ideas for a 9-month shoot. But I haven't done that. So maybe I will work on that. Where is my planner? Let me write that down because I can probably figure out something to do before the end of next week. Okay, so yeah, so Braxton is 8 months now, about to be 9 months, super active. Oh, I love that boy. Requires a lot of attention. So he's in that stage now where he's like wanting to play all the time. I was talking on my stories the other day and I'm like, you know, it's crazy how back in December, I did Reels Miss. For those of you guys who don't know, it's like a challenge I created where you post one reel on Instagram every single day in the month of December. And I did that with I think Braxton was like 3 months old at the time. My husband did it as well. So our household was like a madhouse. And I'm like, how in the world did we both accomplish posting one reel? And it wasn't no little quick and easy, you know, we put our heart and soul into like pretty much reels in the same way that we always do. I'm like, how in the world do we accomplish like doing all of that with a newborn? But I do realize that like at the time, you know, even though like Braxton always loves to be like held and stuff like that, he would sit down and like in his chair or whatever for moments at a time, and I could film a video with him like sitting right there watching me and it'd be just fine. Now, negative, okay? He is active. He doesn't like to sit for too long, which again is expected, but I'm like, okay, Jessica, give yourself a little bit of grace for that. He's definitely in a different stage right now where he's exploring, he's trying to walk, so it's not as easy as it was when he was 3 months as far as like him just like sitting quietly. In order for me to like film and like really get stuff done, it has to be during times where he's like down for a nap, or whether or not he's like just waking up, or he's just like out with his dad completely. So gotta give myself a little bit of grace for that. But yet still, I feel like if I come into the day prepared, knowing exactly what needs to get done, then I'm just gonna be way better off and just way more consistent. So those are Braxton updates. What else is going on? I finally finished working on my LUTs, my first creative LUT pack, which I released about a month ago. So that is now available for you to purchase. If you are doing your own color grading, it is just a way for you to, it just makes that process a little bit easier. I said I was gonna do a video that kind of explains what color grading is, because a lot of people don't really know what it is, and a lot of people kind of use certain words interchangeably, which that's not really, you know, how they should be used, how those words should be used. So I definitely want to do a video that sort of explains like what a LUT is, what color correcting is, what color grading is, like when you use them, and that whole process. I was super proud when I was able to put that out, because it's really been a passion project for me. And especially when I'm in this stage right now where I'm like trying to figure out the kind of content that I want to put out, the value that I bring to this space today. You know, I've been a creator for a couple of years, and you know, social media changes over the years, and you know, I'm sort of like in this space where I'm like trying to figure out what is the value that it is that I bring to this space. What is the type of content that I want to create? And while I'm trying to figure out like the value that I bring to those spaces, I know the value that I bring as a female creator that excels in content creation, in photography, and videography. So all of that to say, finally finishing these LUTs and putting them out and making them available to you guys was really, really special for me, and definitely a milestone for me, and something that I want to continue to hone in on when it comes to like digital products and education and things like that. I definitely want to continue down that road. What else is going on? Okay, so I recently, well, not recently, back in like February, left my management agency, and I won't get into like all the details, but I'm officially a free agent once again, and I won't say I'm actively looking for management. I'm kind of like debating that right now on like what my next moves are gonna be, but it's a new transition for me. I have not been in this space for a long time. It brings me back to like those early days of like being a truly one man team, of like doing all the creation yourself, the editing, the copy, the pitching, the looking for contacts, the negotiating, like all of that is like back on my plate now. And so yeah, it's something that I also need to account for in my editorial calendar. So I'm going to be like adding that to my calendar as well. I know there's been a lot of talk about like management, and I've seen a lot of the conversations on threads, and I think it's very interesting. And there's pros and cons to like being in the space of like representing yourself. But yeah, I'm still kind of like deciphering like what my next moves are when it comes to management. Whether or not I want to, I don't know. You know, obviously there is like the extra load of pitching and like the negotiating and the back and forth emails and like the stuff that takes like a lot of time. But I'm funny about my stuff, you know, and I'm funny about like the way that my business is handled, and I like things to be handled a certain way. Alignment is like super, super, super important for me. So I don't know, right now I'm kind of just like laying low, and I know that time will come, but I'm just waiting like for the right moment, the right partner, it to just be right.
Not to let him go to sleep.
Hi, baby. Mommy's doing a YouTube video. Mommy's doing a YouTube video. Remember those? It's funny, right? It's been a while. Hi. You was hanging with Dada? Yeah? You guys have fun? It's almost bedtime. You ready for bed? You want to take a bath? You smell like outside. camera often, it is like getting to know how to use it all over again. It's so bright outside, and I can really barely see. I need to prop this up. It is Monday. I am feeling productive. I did a little editing over the weekend, so I have like some content ready to go, and I just want to like keep that momentum going. How this footage looks, because I literally cannot see. The sun is in my eyes. We're gonna hope for the best. To-do list, and I could bring my laptop out here to like do some editing, but it is like, it's hot. It is hot out here, and I think I would much rather just prefer to sit in the AC, edit comfortably. I'll get it done a lot faster, and be way more effective. So I'm gonna pack it up. It was a short run outside, but it was nice to come out here. But yeah, I can't even like focus with this heat, so let me pack it up, take it inside. I ordered a new SSD because I am like pretty much out of storage, so I hope that comes. It's supposed to come today. I hope that comes like, let me see where it is. I cannot really start editing this vlog or really anything until I have some place to dump this footage. It looks like it should be here soon. All right, so that's good. I can probably get that done today. Hubby is calling. 1 second.
Bryson, look.
Hi, baby. Hi, honey. Braxton. Hi, baby. You sleeping? You was crying? So a couple months ago, I shared my editorial calendar. I did a reel and TikTok that just shared the calendar that I have been working from. And it's not a calendar that encompasses like my entire business, but it pretty much just focuses on like the content creation. So I want to revisit that because I feel like outside of like life has just been lifing, I just want to revisit it to see if there's anything that I need to like tweak to make it a little bit more realistic to like where I'm at right now. So that is what I'm looking at now. Okay, but as I'm looking at it, I feel like it's fine. I think honestly what's gonna just help me is if I come into the week. So obviously I'm not starting fresh with this calendar for like Monday. But if I can come into the week with like 2 weeks of content already done, then I feel like I can get back on track with this. So I'm going to just like maybe add a little bit more details to this, but that is really going to be my focus for this week. It's just like batching content, because that's really like, I feel like that's what puts me behind the most, because it's like, okay, well, if I'm supposed to be posting, if I want to post, let's say 3 times a week, I'm scrambling because I don't have the content. And for my fellow content creators, you guys understand that feeling. And it's like very hard to get back on track when you feel like you're always behind. So I feel like this week is really like focusing on batching while also prepping for next week. So like for instance, today is Monday. Today's the days that I'm supposed to like brainstorm ideas for content and finalize content for my upcoming week. So I want to make sure that I do get that done today. Decide on the content that I want to put out next week, and get that filmed this week. So it'll be a little bit of a crazy week, but I feel like I'm going into it with a plan, and yeah, I feel like that could work. And even getting back on the schedule for YouTube, I feel, you know, YouTube is like a different beast. And I stayed away from YouTube for such a long time because it was so like unfamiliar to me. And I absolutely love creating long form content. I really do. Like I love telling like longer stories. There's such an art behind that and keeping the attention of your viewer. You know, with dedicated sit down videos, I feel like people automatically go into it like, okay, like they have a script or they have talking points or they have whatever it is that they're going to say for that sit down dedicated talking video, whether it's like a product review or there's a specific topic of conversation. Like you tend to come into the video with like talking points and like, okay, boom, 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 these are the points that I want to hit on. With vlogs, I feel like sometimes people go into it just a little bit more casually, and I feel like that's fine, but I still think like the best vlogs have a point to them, right? And so even though you may not be scripting out your vlogs, I feel like there should still be a point, a reason why, you know, your audience is coming to watch this video. Now, unless you are like some big time celebrity where people just love to watch any little thing that you do, I feel like for most people, people who are watching your vlogs don't really know you like that, and there should still be some value that you're providing in the vlog. So that's like my philosophy, my framework, and I don't know what value is going to be provided to you in this vlog. This is like sort of like me just kind of getting back to it, and I just want to kind of share that with you. So hopefully there's some value in that, but that's also something that I need to work on and make sure that I have time to dedicate flushing out ideas, whether it is a sit down dedicated talking video like I'm teaching you guys something or whatever, or it is a vlog. I want to make sure that I'm allocating time into my schedule to account for that, because I really want to stay consistent on YouTube. I love it here. I just feel so much more like myself talking to the camera, because I know I'm not like constricted by like, oh my gosh, I have to get this out in a minute and a half. It feels like I'm just like talking to my homegirl or something when I have the vlog camera up. When I have the other camera up, it's a little bit more intimidating, I'm not gonna lie, when I have like my main setup. But the vlog camera, something about the vlog camera, the like pick up and go, it feels so much more like casual, that it allows me to be a little bit more comfortable in front of the lens. I've been doing this for years now, and it's still like I still get uncomfortable in front of the camera. So if that is you, please don't feel like you're alone or you're strange because you're like uncomfortable in front of the camera. But anyway, I'm gonna just like add to this calendar just a little bit, just make it a little bit more specific. You guys want to see an updated editorial calendar for YouTube. I haven't done it for YouTube. Let me know in the comments below, and I could definitely add that to the list of things that I want to do. So my hard drive came in, and now I can officially start my editing. So this is the SSD that I picked up. It is the Samsung T7 Shield in 1 terabyte. I've actually never used an SSD before. I've always just used regular hard drives, but I know that SSDs are like faster to work off of. So my plan, what I think my plan is, I got 1 terabyte just to see like what the difference was. I know I'm gonna definitely need more space, but I think what my plan is going to be is to kind of do my work, like my current projects, off of this drive, and then transfer, like once I'm done with my projects, transfer my files over to my hard drives so that I can just like store my files. I think that's how I'm gonna kind of work it. We'll see. These are little bit more expensive than hard drives. And my hard drives up until this point have not failed me yet. So I think that's the way I'm gonna kind of like work it, but we will see. I'm also considering doing a video of like the accessories that I use. Like people always want to know like what camera do you use, what lens you use. But there's like so many other things that go into like the day-to-day operation of content creation, filming, and all of that are like super important outside of the camera and the lens that you're using. So I think I'm gonna do a video just like talking about some of like my favorite camera accessories outside of the body and the lens. I think I'm gonna do that. Oh, super cute and sleek. I love it if they weren't just so expensive. All right, so I can plug this right into my computer. Plug this out. And get to editing. Do I have to set this up? I probably do. Oh, it's so terrible. Every time they have those like user agreements and it just says agree, nobody ever reads it. You just click agree. We don't know what we agreeing to. At least I can start like doing some editing, because that will definitely set me on track. The boys will be back in 1 hour, so I need to hurry this along. I've already done a lot for today, and I can still like get enough done to where I feel like today was productive. It's been productive, but I just want to finish out a couple more things, and I can do that in an hour. Why is this becoming so difficult? Why do I have to shut down my computer to do this? To enable system extensions, you need to modify your security settings. What does this mean? Why is this so complicated? So I know I said this like earlier in the video, but I'm really trying to find my place again in this space of like content creation and the things that I want to talk about, the things that I want to share. You know, I feel like some things that I've shared over the years, I don't necessarily want to talk about that stuff anymore. You know, like being a new mom, I don't necessarily want to be a mom content creator, as I've said that several times before. But figuring out a way to like just talk about things that are realistic and relevant to the life that I live right now. I am not going out a lot of the times. I'm not going to as many events and like hanging out with friends as much as I used to. So a lot of my time is spent at home. And I think that, you know, it's the misconception that a lot of us have, that like, oh, you know, our lives are boring and stuff like that. And, you know, though we know it's not true, it sometimes will feel that way. And I know that's something that I've struggled with, just like feeling like, okay, well, one, I don't necessarily feel like myself, just not being able to like hang out with friends and like do as much as I used to do. But then also figuring out like, okay, well, how do I learn to love the space that I'm in right now? Like, how do I make the space that I'm in right now super exciting and really just like bask and marvel like in the space that I am now, in order for me to want to share it. Because one thing that I'm not going to do is like, if I don't love something, if I'm not like in love with something, I'm not going to like try to share that with you. The other thing is like establishing and reestablishing routines, which is like huge for me in just feeling like myself. I'm a big routine girl. Like I'm a big schedule girl. I'm a big routine. Like I'm not that spontaneous, just like kind of live on the fly, go with the wind kind of person. And when I have routines, like I love a routine, like whether it's like my morning routine, whether it's a skin routine, whether it's a night routine, whether it's like baby and mommy routine, like whatever it is, like I love my routines. And I feel like I find joy like in my routines and making it like a whole moment, really like romanticizing those little moments. So I that's also something I feel like that has like contributed to me feeling a little bit lost in the social media space, because like, you know, again, to my content creators, you know that like social media is really just, well, I feel like it should be, it's just a reflection of like regular life. So if, you know, I feel lost and all over the place in regular life, there's no way that I can show up on social like put together, or like, and not that you have to be put together, but there's no way I can show up on social media as my best self if I'm not my best self in real life. So I know I'm talking a lot. Today is just like maybe just like sharing my thoughts, getting my thoughts out, just getting out. This is like journaling for me. This is my visual journal. But yes, that is sort of like the place that I'm in, the place I'm at. And I feel like I'm coming to that place of like finally figuring it out and finally being able to like get back to it. That's kind of like that was like the whole point of like me doing this video. It was just like sharing with you guys like where I'm at and like getting back to it. So I'm always out to know like your thoughts, like the type of content that you want to see from me, the conversations that you may want me to have, the questions that you may have that you may want me to answer. I'm always down for those types of suggestions. So go ahead and drop a comment, and I'll definitely do my best to like get to filming all of those things if I feel like it's something that I can really speak to. Also for like my mommy content creators, like I've gotten this question like in the beginning, like how are you like doing it all? And I'm like, I am not doing it all. But I would love to know, I would love for you guys to chime in and like maybe sharing some of your tips on like how you're able to not get it all done, because that's just not even reality, but how are you able to like maintain, right? And even if it's like the mental check, right? Like that was something that I had to kind of like speak to myself about, like just like your expectations are a little unrealistic for this season, right? So let's like reevaluate your expectations. So whatever it is, whatever like little tidbits of advice that you guys may have, tricks, things that may help you get things done more efficiently, go ahead and drop that below as well. I'll be taking a look, and I'm sure that it's going to help a few other people. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification, hit all the buttons, right? And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.